This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
I shudder thinking how the world can be so cruel. I lend my voice to those who can't. It's time we try, it's time we care, it's time we stand. It starts with a voice.
Welcome back to Episode 3, The Athlete's Journey of Rhode to Special Olympics 2026 USA Games, a Special Chronicles Podcast Series. I'm your host, Daniel Smrokowski, founder of Special Chronicles, a Special Olympics athlete leader with Team Illinois, and a former Sargent Shriver Global Messenger with Special Olympics. Today, we're diving into the heart of every athlete's path to the 2026 USA Games in Minnesota. This episode is all about the training grind, the setbacks that build resilience, and the goals that keep our athletes pushing forward. You'll hear directly from three incredible Team Illinois athletes, my home state program, each with their own story, their own challenges, and their own dreams for the USA Games. If you want to follow these athletes and over 3,000 athletes on their journey, follow them on the 2026 Special Olympics USA Games app. Just search USA Games on the iPhone or Android app stores. To follow the full series and stay connected to everything leading up to the 2026 USA Games, head to specialchronicles.com/2026 USA Games. That's specialchronicles.com/2026 USA Games, or scan that QR code if you're watching on the YouTube or the Spotify. And now let's jump in. First up, we are all heading to the pool with someone whose determination is as strong as her stroke. Let's meet there.
This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
Special Chronicles presents Rhode to Special Olympics 2026 USA Games. Real athletes, real stories, real moments from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Follow the 10-part series at specialchronicles.com/2026 USA Games. That's specialchronicles.com/2026 USA Games. Or you can scan the QR code up on the top of the screen if you're watching the video. And joining us right now is Val, competing in swimming with Team Illinois. Welcome, Val, to Special Chronicles.
Thank you.
So let's have you begin and tell us, even though I said your name and your sport and where you're from, but in your own words, tell us your name, your sport, where you're from, and how you first got involved in Special Olympics.
My name is Barry Densler. I'm going to be competing in swimming, and I'm from Team Illinois. And how I got into Special Olympics was doing the pole plunge in 2013.
Awesome. And what does your training look like right now as you prepare for the 2026 USA Games?
I have two team practices down here, and then 3 days on my own.
Awesome. So I'm sure it's a different training than just competing for regional or state, right?
Yes.
And when we talk about coaches and teammates, who supports you in your training, and how do they help you improve?
My mom, my sister, my family, and my coaches.
Awesome. And as we all know, we all have skills and strengths. So what skills or strengths are you focusing on the most this season as you prepare for the USA Games?
Just getting faster and just be able to just swim without just be able to swim and breathe correctly.
Awesome. And as for motivation when training gets tough? What keeps you motivated on days when the training gets tough?
That when I say to myself that they picked me because they knew I was one of the best swimmers, and just keep going because it's just you could get rewarded at the end.
Awesome. And now, as we move from the training into setbacks and challenges that shape champions, every athlete faces challenges. Can you share a setback that you've had and how you overcame it?
I had wrist surgery 2 years ago, like 2 months before summer games, and I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do swimming because I haven't been practicing. But then I'm like, no, I could just do my best. And then I ended up getting gold in one of my strokes.
Awesome. And mental strength is a big part of helping to overcome challenges. So how do you stay positive and keep things going when things don't go as planned?
I just say that just try your best, because you are one of the the committee chose you to be representing of Team Illinois. So just do your best and don't just do your best.
Awesome. And you mentioned as a part of your training having a support system. Who helps you get through those tough moments? Is it family, friends, teammates?
It's kind of everyone, like family, friends, teammates, coaches.
Awesome. And I'm sure our mutual friend Eric helps to support too, right?
Oh yeah, yes, he does.
So as we move into goals, as we look forward to Minnesota 2026, it's a month away. Which, I know, how to believe a month away. I know. I think we'll be flying there a month from the time that we're recording this. What are your goals for the 2026 USA Games in Minnesota?
My main goal is to just do my best and meet a lot of different people from all over the world, and just stay positive. And my goal after this USA Games is try to go to World Games.
Awesome. Yeah. And definitely good to always have those goals, which start with the regional competition, then the state competition, now the USA Games, and then World Games. Awesome. In addition to your personal goals, I'm sure your team Illinois has goals as well. What goals does your team Illinois have for the games?
I think I can only talk about the swimmers, but I think the goal for swimmers is to just do your best and to just take when we do the pre-trials, to just do your best as a race, basically, and just do your best, and you just are trying to beat your own time.
Awesome. Now, as we talk about beyond the games, and you kind of already answered this, but maybe just go just a little bit more in depth after the games. What do you hope to achieve next as an athlete? And I know you talked about the World Games, and then the next World Games next year is in Santiago, Chile.
Chile next year.
Yeah, the first time it's in the Latin America region.
I just think that's one of my big dreams, is to go to USA Games and then go to World Games. But I know if I don't get chosen, then it'll be okay. I could just try next time, don't just give up just because you didn't get picked. And I want to be more to get more people involved in swimming.
Awesome. I love that. Both goals, and that was be very motivational for our listeners to know that that even if you set a goal and you don't achieve it, then just keep trying. There's going to be tons of fans up there in Minnesota cheering you on. What message do you want to share with fans that are cheering you on?
I want to say thank you for supporting me and thank you for helping me achieve this goal.
Awesome. And as we come to a close, what does being a Special Olympics athlete mean to you?
It means to just be myself, and we are all the same, and like just be yourself, because no one will make fun of you in Special Olympics.
Awesome. And finally, anything else you'd like to share about your journey?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I do have a GoFundMe page. The GoFundMe page is for my family to get to Minnesota. So if you like to donate, you can on my Facebook or other people's Facebook. My GoFundMe page is on my Facebook that's pinned to my Facebook.
Awesome. And if you want to text me that GoFundMe, and I will put a link to that in the description for this episode. If any of you guys are listening or watching and you want to help Val's family get to Minnesota, click on that link as well. Thank you again, Val, for coming on this Special Chronicles podcast. And thanks for listening to Rhode to Special Olympics 2026 USA Games, the Special Chronicles Podcast Series. We are athletes, we are stories, we are moments from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Catch every episode of the 10-part series at specialchronicles.com/2026USA Games. That's specialchronicles.com/2026USA Games, or scan that QR code right above here, and you will get all the links to follow and subscribe. And until then, we'll keep listening to this series right here on specialchronicles.com.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
Val's commitment to her sport, her team is a reminder that every lap counts on the road to Minnesota. Next up, we will flip over to the gymnastics floor with an athlete whose strength and grace tell a powerful story with my good friend, Katie O'Neill.
This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
Special Chronicles presents Rhode to Special Olympics 2026 USA Games. We are athletes, we are stories, we are moments from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Follow the full 10-part series at specialchronicles.com/2026USA Games. That's specialchronicles.com/2026USA Games. And now, please put your virtual hands together as we welcome back to the Special Chronicles podcast my good friend Katie from Team Illinois. Oh, it's not laughing. Sorry. Welcome back, Katie.
Hello.
I clicked on the wrong sound effects.
It's okay.
Back.
I'm glad to be back. The last time, I can't remember when the last time was. Was that like last year?
I have no idea because the previous guest reminded me that she was a guest on this podcast in the past, and I did not even remember that the previous guest was a previous guest. And so, our listeners, just go to specialchronicles.com, search for Katie O'Neill, and you can find that previous guest. That previous episode was it last year? A couple years ago?
Last year or a few, I don't know.
I know. Some listener is going to specialchronicles.com right now and is yelling at the headphones. Okay. So with that, we're having you on this time to talk about your road to the Special Olympics USA Games happening in Minnesota the week of June 20th to that week.
Yeah. 26.
26. Yes, there you go. I usually have these facts in front of me. But let's begin and have you tell our listeners your name, your sport, and where you're from.
Okay, my name is Katie O'Neill. I am doing gymnastics for the USA Games, and I am from Region C.
Region C in Illinois, Team Illinois. I don't know if I can say the best. Well, I think our listeners should know that I'm also from Illinois. But anyways, for any new listeners, because we've got a lot of new listeners, and again, this for those of you listening, this podcast series, if you search USA Games in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google, we do come up as the #1 search result. And so for any new listeners, how did you first get involved in special? Oh, yeah, we can apply for that. How did you first get involved in Special Olympics?
So back in high school, well, not when I was in high school. It was when I was out of high school. I saw what my coach's Snapchat story of helping kids with disabilities. And I always like to help kids with disabilities. He's like, okay, well, you could even be a part of it. I'm like, wait, what? So he's the reason why he got me to where I am today.
Awesome. And that first sport that you competed in was gymnastics?
Yes. So he taught my high school gymnastics team then, and then once graduation set in, I had no clue what I was going to do afterwards. College was out of the picture, so I found Special Olympics, and I'm here today.
And then the rest is history. Going from the local state level up to the national level. Awesome. Let's now dive into the training, the daily journey. Your training routine, because I'm sure your training is looking a little bit different now, getting ready to compete at the national level. What does your training look like right now as you prepare for the 2026 USA Games?
So it's not like everyone else, but that's okay. I'm still training two days a week, which is Wednesdays and Saturdays. And then sometimes they will add an extra practice with the Team Illinois coaches. So That's what we've been doing.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm sure it's really helpful to get practice with the coaches who will be coaching you up in Minnesota. Speaking of your coaches and your teammates and your coaches and your teammates from Team Illinois, who supports you in your training and how do they help you to improve in your sport in gymnastics?
So my coaches will tell me, Katie, you have to block on the vault. So I do a front handspring on the vault, which is a handstand to your feet from a vaulting table. It's easier to see than to explain. Or for a kip, which is a glide swing, and I bring my legs up to the bar and then try to the term is put your pants on. I know it's a funny term, but it's you're putting your pants on, but you're on a bar.
Awesome. Now, as we move into your skills and strength, what skills or strengths are you focusing on most in this season? In this season of preparation for because by we're recording this June 1st, but by the time all listeners hear this, it will be the middle of June, so it'll be about a week. The week after our listeners hear this in real time. It will be the time for the USA Games. So what skills or strengths are you focusing on most this season?
I am focusing on just sticking my routines, remembering them. I've had a few changes with the routine, but I'm taking those changes out and keeping it the way that I know and love.
Awesome. And just like your coaches are our support system, I'm sure you've also got family and friends and teammates who helps you through those tough moments. Because I'm sure some of the training can be difficult, especially if you have to add an extra day. And I mean, you've got the motivation of the USA Games, but during those tough moments, who helps you during those tough moments? Family, friends, teammates?
So my parents help me, and my teammate Alexis, she helps me. She always cheers me on during practice. If I'm like doing a skill and I'm getting like frustrated and can't like get it right away, she'll be like, "You got this. You can do this." So thank you, Alexis.
Awesome. Now as we move into your goals, as we look ahead to Minnesota 2026 again, for those of you listening and want to cheer on Katie, you can join me and download the USA Games app and I believe send some cheers and motivation to athletes. I don't know if Katie, if you knew that fans could do that.
Yeah, I've gotten some already.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know if. Can you see who sends it to you or no?
Yeah, I saw some from you.
Okay.
A lot.
Well, I was trying to pick a bunch of Team Illinois athletes because I didn't know how it worked.
I'm not mad. I was just.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, it's. Anyways, so listeners, go. I think you can just search for Special Olympics USA Games in the App Store and find it, and then so with that, what are some of your goals for the 2026 USA Games in Minnesota?
I do want to get gold, but if I don't get the gold, I won't get mad at myself or anything. I would be happy because I'm enjoying the experience and the road that I'm on. And I don't care if I lose. I know this might sound weird, but I don't care if I lose. I don't care if I win. I just know that I'm having fun, and that to me, that's my win.
Awesome. Yeah, I think, and that ties back into our athlete oath that it doesn't matter if we win. It just matters if we're brave in the attempt. So I think that's a powerful message that a lot of fans can really learn from your story and learn from the other athletes that are competing. It's just the fact that you're going to this national level, like that's even a big that there's only a select few athletes that actually get selected to compete at the national level. Switching to now your goals as a team, as a Team Illinois, and in your case, the gymnastics part of Team Illinois. What goals does your team have for the USA Games?
So I'm gonna say that to get gold or like podium, but my personal goal that I want my gymnastics team to have is just have fun and try our best. Whatever happens, and it's fun.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Perfect goal. Speaking of going beyond the games, after June 26, and you go home, what do you hope to achieve next as an athlete?
To try for the World Games. I'm a big dreamer. I feel like I would probably have the same goal as well. I mean, it seems like every athlete that I ask, that's a similar goal. Awesome. I know. I think Bale said the same thing. Speaking to the fans,
And again, fans, if you download the Special Olympics USA Games app, and you can send message to athletes like Katie and all the other thousands and thousands of athletes going to Minnesota this June. What message do you want to share with fans that are cheering you on, whether they're cheering you on the ground in Minnesota? I know my mom and I are coming up, so hopefully we'll get to get over to the gymnastics venue. Or whether fans are tuning in on, I think ESPN is broadcasting, I believe. Cool. So whether fans are tuning in on ESPN or tuning in on social media or at home, what message do you want to share with fans that are cheering you on?
Thank you for cheering me on. It makes me feel like I'm a celebrity. And I'm really appreciate all the positive feedback that you guys are giving me and my team, and thank you again.
Awesome. And I'm sure you're going to be getting a lot of, could you hear that?
I heard the applause.
A lot of applause. That I think I've got a better sound effect somewhere else. Anyways, clearly we like to have fun with sound effects. Okay, anyways, let's get back on track as we wrap up this closing part of I know we're going a little longer than 10 minutes, but that's okay. When you have friends on the pod, that's what happens. Mm-hmm. Special Olympics means a lot for you. It means a lot for me. Like there's so much that that it has done for us on the competition field and off the field. What does being a Special Olympics athlete mean to you?
To me, it makes me feel like I could be a role model for the incoming athletes. And it makes me feel like I have a secret. Well, I could share now because you probably saw my video with the United Healthcare.
I saw a clip of it, but yeah.
So with that, I just remember we were on the floor and there was like little girls that were just hanging on the bars or doing something with bars. And I remember them looking at me when I walked by and they had the biggest smile on their face and be like, wow, she's so pretty. I want to be just like her. And it warmed my heart and made me feel really proud to hear kids say that about someone that they don't even know.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. I heard a similar story that I think I want to say Rhode Claiborne, the chief inspiration officer for Special Olympics, a similar thing of she and some other athletes were featured in some museum in DC and of young kids looking up to these athletes. So yeah, that's a really powerful story, and I'm sure a lot of young kids will be looking up to you and the other athletes competing at the USA Games. As we wrap up now, we're going for about 15 minutes, but that's fine. Anything else you'd like to share about your journey?
I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm excited to compete. I'm excited for the whole experience. I'm excited to see Demi Lovato at the opening ceremonies, which is really cool.
Yeah. Ho and John Baptiste. I'm not going to edit anything out. I was trying to see if I can interview some of those musical acts, but apparently it's really, 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 even being registered as media, it's really, really difficult to interview them.
You're very, very busy.
Yes. Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah, I know.
Even.
Yeah. But yeah, awesome. The final question that I know I said that was the final question, but the final question that we want our listeners to learn and to take a call to action from this podcast series. And as you know, the inclusion revolution is a big part of this movement, a big part of Special Olympics. And so just like we've been doing for the past 5 whatever years, I'll ask you, what does, and let me play that bumper to introduce that final question. I think I have to go back to my other clip here.
We're not just athletes.
We are the ambassadors of an uprising.
Peaceful protesters.
In a rebellion against anyone
who has a fear of difference.
Difference.
Our demands are
Equality.
Dignity.
And the recognition of our
Shared humanity. We will not stop.
or accept anything less.
Today, our world is
More divided than ever.
And coming together has never been more urgent.
The revolution is inclusion. Find out more at jointherevolution.org.
So I'll ask you, Kitty, and I think you probably have answered this question since you've been a previous guest, but I'll ask you again as well. What does inclusion mean to you?
Inclusion means to me that not leaving someone out, someone that has a disability out at lunch. If you're like at school, if you see them sitting by themselves, go up to them, include them, be like, hey, you come sit with us. It's like a group of friends. That to me, that's being inclusive. And as a paraprofessional, I've seen kids include other kids, and it makes me feel like they already know this, but they don't know about Special Olympics. So it really makes me happy and stuff.
Awesome. Well, that's a perfect way to wrap up. I know I wish we had more time to dive more in, but we'll look forward to hopefully seeing you in Minnesota. And all of you listening, please cheer on Katie and Team Illinois and all the other teams, because even though all of us come from all different states, we're all still Special Olympics athletes, and we all just glad to have these opportunities.
Thank you, Daniel.
And until then, thanks for listening to Rhode to Special Olympics 2026 USA Games, a Special Chronicles podcast series. Real athletes, real stories, real moments from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Catch every episode of the 10-part series at specialchronicles.com/2026 USA Games. That's specialchronicles.com/2026 USA Games. Or scan that QR code that is above Katie or me, depending on how you are looking at this. Yeah, it's somewhat above there. Scan that, and you can follow the series and subscribe, rate, and review us on Apple Podcast, Spotify. Do all those things that you do with podcasts, and we'll catch you all on the next episode.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
And until then, choose to include. Katie shows us that gymnastics isn't just about strength, it's about courage, discipline, and health. Next up on this series for our next athlete conversation, we're back in the water with an athlete whose positivity and drive shine through practice. Please welcome my friend Amanda.
This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
Special Chronicles presents Rhode to Special Olympics 2026 USA Games. Real athletes, real stories, real moments from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Follow the full 10-part series at specialchronicles.com/2026 USA Games. That's specialchronicles.com/2026 USA Games. And now, please put your virtual hands together as we welcome back onto the program as a two-time guest, my good friend Amanda Profito from Team Illinois Swimming. I somewhere. I've got applause. Let me find the other. I've got so many sound effects here. Please put your hands together. Welcome back, Amanda.
Thank you.
So it's if our listeners want to go back, and because I never remember what episode a previous guest has been on, but if you go to specialchronicles.com, you can do a search for Amanda's name and find that previous guest. Because I don't know do you remember what episode you were on in the past?
Australia.
Yeah. So that was that a couple years ago, 2, 3.
2 years ago. Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
Awesome. So listeners, you all just go to specialchronicles.com and type in Amanda Profito in the search field, and you can find that previous episode. But now we're having you on as we dive into the road to Special Olympics USA Games. And we've got some new listeners, so why don't you reintroduce yourself and tell us your name, your sport, and where you're from.
Amanda Profiter, and I am competing in swimming, and I'm from Geneva.
Awesome. And Team Illinois?
Yes.
So I don't know if I'm allowed to say this at Special Chronicles, so wait. Well, I am the founder, so I can say whatever I want. But the Team Illinois is probably the best team, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, see, people get being an independent platform. People can't tell me what you can and can't say. Anyways, take us back to how did you first get involved in Special Olympics?
I first was a fan in the stands and volunteered to just see what it was all about. And when I realized in middle school, I played regular softball. It was getting to be a bit intense for me. I had to find another way to participate in sports. I was reluctant to join special recreation, but saw that I could thrive there at my own pace.
Awesome. As we know, you've been competing for quite a few years locally at the program level in Special Olympics Illinois, but now getting a chance that very few athletes get a chance to compete at the national level at the USA Games, and so as we talk about your training routine, I'm sure your training, it looks different than just competing at the local program level. But as we get ready, but we're recording this June 1st, but by the time our listeners hear this, it'll be the middle of, I think, the week of June 15th. So in about a week from the time our listeners hear this, if you're listening in real time, the USA Games is coming up June 20th to the 26th, I believe. And you can follow, for those of you listening, go on your phone and download the USA Games app, and you can cheer on Amanda and all the other athletes competing at USA Games. Take us back and tell us, what does your training look like right now as you prepare for the 2020 USA Games?
I swim train with a private coach twice per week. I swim at our local healthcare center 3 other days, in addition to doing floor and cardio workouts at our local gym, and with a personal trainer, Mike, 2 days per week. Now at our own pool is open, I will be swimming my laps daily. Also, there have been monthly team practices with our Illinois delegation and coaches. We just had our last swim practice yesterday.
Awesome. Speaking of your coaches and teammates, who supports you in your training, and how do they help you improve in your
I'm with my private swim coach Janine throughout the winter, and with Amy, a friend of ours, during the summer. They help me with my strokes, speed, diving, flip turns, and they encourage me to do my best. And they also help me like make sure that I really keep times to
Awesome.
level where it makes sense.
Awesome. Building upon what you said about flip tones and working on a lot of those skills and strength, which is a big part of training for any competition, but in particular for the USA Games. What skills or strengths are you focused on most this season? This season, as you prepare to compete at the Special Olympics USA Games.
Breathing techniques, my kicks, so I don't get disqualified, pretty much, and pacing myself as I have long races. I'm in the 500-meter freestyle and the 50 breast, as the 4x50-meter relay. That 500-meter is a really big one to master with perseverance, and then putting on the steam at the very end.
Awesome. And I'm sure that there's a lot of things that keep you motivated, but and I'm sure that on some days it might be difficult, like between working and all the extra training. As we talk about your motivation, what keeps you motivated on the days when that get tough with training?
Being chosen for the Illinois delegation has been a long-time dream. I am excited to compete and bring home a hopeful medal, as focusing on nutrition habits and sleep.
Awesome. And as all of us Special Olympics athletes, as yourself, myself, and the many other athletes across locally in Illinois and across the U.S. and across the globe know, every one of us Special Olympics athletes face challenges. Can you share with us, as we talk about overcoming obstacles, share with us a setback that you've had and how you overcame it?
I'm my own worst enemy, as most are. I think getting anxious about incorrect information at meets and during meets, anticipating things that put me in a negative headspace that make me just want to quit or take up a bad behavior, such as impulse eating. I am a work in progress, as most people are. I'm moving forward with my training, health, athlete skills, and chatting with my mentors, parents, coaches, and teammates. When things get hard, we all help each other.
Absolutely. Mental strength is another big part of how we overcome challenges, and in particular, I don't know how many of our listeners know about the strong minds discipline of healthy athletes, but strong mind, because I think you also a health messenger, like myself.
I'm not exactly a health messenger per se,
but you know the strong minds.
Yeah.
So drawing upon and if our listeners want to learn more, go to specialchronicles.com/mental health, and you all can listen to a 3-part mental health series to get some really good tips. Drawing upon the mental strength, how do you stay positive and keep things when things, as you just said, sometimes with meets and competition, things don't go as planned. So how do you stay positive?
I have a mentor and a friend who I see weekly. She is available via text, and my faith sustains me well. Going to church and being in 2 really great programs and work helps me out a lot. Communicating with my fellow athletes is absolutely very helpful.
Awesome. And speaking of having a support system, your mom is right next to you. I'm sure your dad and your sister, and you've got a lot of family and friends and teammates that help you. Who helps you get through those tough moments?
You just made my support, Daniel, and then sometimes there is a little bit of ice cream involved.
Awesome. Well, as all us athletes know, ice cream does help to be a good. It might not be the healthiest as healthiest choice,
exactly.
but it is a good good support system, especially with the summer season just getting started. As we move into some of your goals, and as we look ahead to again to Minnesota 2026 Special Olympics USA Games happening June 20th to the 26th in Minnesota. You all go to all of you listening can go to I think 2026USAGames.org or just go and download the 2026 USA Games app on your phone and follow athletes like Amanda. As we talk about some of your post-snow goals, what are the goals that you have for these 2026 USA Games in Minnesota?
Enjoy the experience, being independent, meeting new friends, and making lifelong friendships.
Awesome. And now, as we move into your team goals, it can be whether it's Team Illinois overall or the swimming part of Team Illinois. What goals does your team Illinois have for these USA Games?
The goal is to bring as much bling home as possible, make Illinois proud and our county proud and our communities, and hopefully encourage younger athletes to keep reaching for their dreams.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a common message that I've heard and that our listeners will hear on this series. As we talk about going beyond the games after June 26th, after everybody travels home from these Special Olympics USA Games in Minnesota, what do you hope to achieve next as an athlete?
Continue training. Being fit is a lifelong skill we all need. Continue to grow in athlete leadership through Special Olympics. Maybe reach for World Games. Who knows? I cannot doubt the dream, or it will never come true.
Awesome. I want to just touch on. I mean, I love everything that you said. That those are some good goals to look at beyond the games. But that one last part that you said of that goal of possibly competing at the World Games, that is a common goal of other athletes that I have interviewed on this series have all kind of shared that common goal of once achieving the national level of being able to compete at the international level. Speak now directly to a message to fans. You've got a lot of fans, probably fans that are going to be fans not going to be applauding just like that, and whether they all applauding in person in Minnesota, or whether they're applauding virtually, or even applauding through the 2026 USA Games app. Speak directly now to the camera, to the microphone. What message do you want to share with the fans that are cheering you on?
I would say stay positive. We're all trying our best, whether we medal or not. We've had a great experience just getting this far into the games and participating. Being on Team USA is a big accomplishment in itself. We're grateful that you are here to encourage and motivate us.
Awesome. And as we wrap up, being a Special Olympic athlete has probably a lot of feelings for yourself, for myself, for the over 6 million athletes across the globe. What does being a Special Olympics athlete mean to you?
Special Olympics has offered me the opportunity to be my personal best, both off and on the field, in and out of the pool, and in life. I have confidence and abilities to reach the goals I have never thought would be possible. It means having opportunities to have friends and family and experiences in so many different places and ways I never thought possible. While I may be almost 37, I feel like I have a huge world ahead of me and grateful for the opportunities that I have and don't take any of them for granted. I'm excited about the future and for the future.
Awesome. I love that. And finally, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners about your journey?
Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity to connect and encourage others and hopefully be a role model for those who cannot think they cannot, because you can and you will.
Awesome. Great final words. We got just one final question. As you know, the inclusion revolution is a big part of this movement, and we don't just want listeners to listen to us today or watch this podcast, but we want our listeners to learn from your story, learn from our stories, and to bring inclusion into their communities, into their towns, to their schools, into their workplaces. And so during this, as we roll this bumper, I'll let you and your mom just briefly think about this question of what does inclusion mean to you, and then we'll get to that after we roll that bumper.
We're not just athletes.
We are the ambassadors of an uprising.
Peaceful protesters.
In a rebellion against anyone
Who has a fear of difference.
Difference.
Our demands are
Equality.
Dignity and the recognition of our
Shared humanity. We will not stop.
or accept anything less.
Today, our world is
More divided than ever.
Coming together has never been more urgent.
The revolution is inclusion. Find out more at jointherevolution.org.
And I know that was a really quick bumper, but we in the inclusion revolution is a big part of this movement, a big part of the Special Olympics movement, and so it doesn't have to be a long response, but what does inclusion mean to you?
Every athlete deserves the opportunity to shine, and reminds us to continue to have our light burning brightly, that others can see it and experience it and be inspired by it. Together, we are making a difference, like me and athletes and beyond, who may not always have felt seen, heard, or understood.
Awesome. Powerful words to conclude on. And thank you again, Amanda, I know we've been talking for about 19 minutes now. Thank you again for coming back on and sharing your journey and story with us as on our road to Special Olympics USA Games.
Well, thank you.
And thanks all for listening to Road to Special Olympics 2026 USA Games, a Special Chronicles podcast series. Real athletes, real stories, real moments from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Catch every episode of the 10-part series at specialchronicles.com/2026USA Games. That's specialchronicles.com/2026USA Games. And until next time, we'll see you all in Minnesota. And remember, choose to include.
Oh. Thank you, Daniel.
Respect and a voice to people with special needs.
Amanda reminds us that every athlete's journey is powered by belief. Belief in themselves and belief from the people around them. Unified Cornhole, Sharon Laliberte is next up. For our final conversation, we'll shift into a story that highlights what makes Special Olympics truly powerful. Unified sports, where athletes with and without intellectual disabilities compete together as equal teammates. And this year marks something special. For the first time ever, Unified Cornhole is part of the USA Games. Representing Special Olympics Rhode Island, Unified partner Sharon Laliberte is helping make history. Let's step into this groundbreaking moment and hear what it means to compete in a sport making its USA Games debut with Sharon Laliberte.
This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
Special Chronicles presents Road to Special Olympics 2026 USA Games. Real athletes, real stories, real moments from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Follow the full 10-part series at specialchronicles.com/2026USAGames. That's specialchronicles.com/2026USAGames. And now, please put your virtual hands together as we welcome back onto the program as a two-time guest, my good friend Amanda Profito from Team Illinois Swimming. Oh, whoops, I clicked the wrong button. So we have to do a quick editing here. In 3, 2, 1.
This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
Special Chronicles presents Road to Special Olympics 2026 USA Games. Real athletes, real stories, real moments from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Follow the full 10-part series at specialchronicles.com/2026USAGames. That's specialchronicles.com/2026USA Games. And now, please put your virtual hands together as we welcome to the program Sharon Laliberte, competed in Unified Cornhole from Special Olympics Rhode Island. And somewhere I've got the sound effects, and but we'll just imagine we have welcome Sharon.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, it's good to have you on the program, and like I was telling you in the pre-show, this is cornhole, and Unified Cornhole is a new sport in Special Olympics. I believe it's for those of you listening. If I've done my research correctly, it's the first time that it is it's a sport at the Special Olympics USA Games, correct?
Yes, this is the first year.
Awesome. So let's dive right in and tell our listeners your name, your sport, and where you're from.
So my name is Sharon Laliberte. I'm from Rhode Island, and I'm a Unified Cornhole partner.
Awesome. I know, like I was telling you in the pre-show, one of my coworkers at United Airlines is interested in playing Unified Cornhole with me in next year in 2027. So I will have to share this interview with her because she'll be excited to learn more. Take us back to how did you first get involved in Special Olympics? And I understand your son is an athlete who is sitting near you.
Yes. So my son, Derek, about 10 years ago, his physical therapist is the one that told me about Special Olympics. I didn't know nothing about it. And so I looked into it, and I signed him up, and probably within 3 months, I started volunteering. And then I became a unified partner in bowling and cornhole, because we've had cornhole for the past few years in Rhode Island. We've done it, but we did it for more of fundraising. We did it as a fundraising thing.
Awesome. I love that. I know I'm a Special Olympics athlete in Illinois, and I believe we just started. Actually, I think this is our first full year of having cornhole and Unified Cornhole. So it's exciting to kind of hear how Special Olympics Rhode Island started cornhole. Let's now dive right into the training, because you have competed at the local level, at the local program level in Rhode Island, and now for the first time part of the first team of athletes ever in the history of Special Olympics USA Games to be competing at the national level. What does your training look like right now as you prepare for the 2026 USA Games in Minnesota? By the time our listeners hear this, everybody, including you and your son and myself and my mom and so many others, are going to be flying to Minnesota by the time this episode drops. But tell us what your training looks like right now for Unified
So
Cornhole.
we train 2 days a week on the boards, but it's beyond that. We have to go to a gym that we work out. We try to do it every other Saturday. We all go to the gym. And we do walking at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, and we walk at least a mile. Because it's not just playing the game; you gotta be strong. You gotta be strong.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I've occasionally, like at I've occasionally played cornhole, but like just for fun, but not and so and I'm sure some of our listeners just think of it all as a tailgating sport, or not a full competitive sport. But it's neat that you said that with walking a mile, there's a lot of training involved.
Yes, and let me tell you, the coach is always like, "Watch your foot, watch your foot."
Awesome. So
the straighter the bag will go.
Awesome. Awesome. The straight that you said that the straight that you like, the straight that you all
the posture. If you're straight and you're all lined up, it'll go. And I thought she was just like, nagging us, but no, it really does work.
Awesome. Just a quick side story. A few years ago at our state basketball, they had cornhole, but like just like a side activity. And I was playing it with some other athlete friends, and my aim was so like the beanbag, or I think that's what it's called.
Yep.
Beanbag kept hitting my friend, and so it's a running joke that we have, like that. My aim is not that good, so I am going to make some notes on my schedule to hopefully try to come out to the Unified Cornhole up in Minnesota, so I can watch you and everybody, all the other teams compete in. Take some notes to try yourself, and so I definitely would recommend for all of you tuning in, if you are going to Minnesota, go check out the Unified Cornhole, so you too can maybe join this new Special Olympic sport. You mentioned that your coaches were giving you some tips. Who supports you in your training, and can you share with us how they help you improve?
Well, definitely, there's only two teams from Rhode Island going for cornhole, and we just happen to be all on. Rhode Island's a very small state, so we have a lot of teams in Rhode Island, and you can and we can go to another team if they don't have it. But it just so happens that me and my son Derek are partners, and then Tommy and Tommy's an athlete, and Kathy is a unified partner, and we're all actually on the same team, which is the Pawtucket Pacers, and our coach is Lisa. So, and she actually runs cornhole for the state of Rhode Island. Like, she has her own cornhole league, so which helps too. But she's also our head coach.
Awesome. Another quick side note. I don't know if you know David Evangelista, the CEO of Special Olympics International, but I believe I believe his dad might have started Special Olympics Rhode Island. Oh, it might have been another state on the East Coast, but it might have been in Rhode Island. I'm not exactly. Our listeners can go back to that episode that he was on, but I might have, if I remembering correctly. But anyways, let's get back to your training story, because that's why our listeners are tuning in, not for my side tangents. You mentioned that it takes a lot of skill and strength. For example, you mentioned just a little bit ago about how if you stand straight, then you can more easily throw the beanbag into the hole, into the cone hole. Just share with our listeners the skills and strength that you are focused on most of this season as you prepare to compete at the 2026 Special Olympics Games in Minnesota.
Being consistent, like trying to at least get the bags in the same area. If you can do that, then, instead of them flying all over the place, if you can be consistent and at least trying to get them, even if it's not in the hole, but near it enough that you can push it in to the hole with the next bag.
Awesome. I'm going to go off script just slightly, but can you let our listeners, because my one of my friends was trying to kind of tell me about the points and how you get points. Can you let our listeners know about like how you get points and how it's scored?
How do you score? So you get 3 points in the hole and 1 bag on the board, but it's a cancellation scoring. So if I have a bag in the hole, that's 3 points. But if the opponent has 2 bags on the board, I only get 1 point because you have to subtract the points.
Awesome. And is the athlete and unified partner, do you guys do the math? Or because I know, like, for myself, and I'm sure other athletes, some of us might have difficulty with math.
Usually the unified partner, but I think in Minnesota they're having specialty people that are doing it. We're not going to be scoring at all.
Officials or volunteers?
Yeah, they're going to be doing the scoring for us.
But usually, in our local program level,
the unified partners
are
usually the ones that score. But if we're doing, that's if we're just doing our regular one. But if we're like, when we have our like games that we're competing through for everybody, there's usually officials there that are doing the scoring.
Okay, awesome. Let's, as we wrap up this training segment, and then we'll in just a little bit get into some challenges. But the share with our listeners what keeps you motivated on it, because I'm sure throughout your training there are tough days. You might be working a job all day, or you might be in school, and you might be so tired by the time that you get to your training. So what keeps you motivated on days when training gets tough?
And there has been some days that they're tough, because I do work. I get up at 4:30 in the morning, and we don't usually go to training till about 5:30. So I'm really tired by then. Yeah. But to be honest with you, it's my son, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing this right now. And he is a much better cornhole player than me. But he keeps me really motivated because, he loves cornhole.
Awesome. And how remind our listeners, how long has he been playing cornhole, and then how long have you both been playing unified cornhole?
So I think cornhole in Rhode Island has been maybe 7 years?
Yeah.
But we Special Olympics didn't actually pick it up for maybe the past 3 or 4 years. We used to use the cornhole as our fundraiser for Special Olympics. So it wasn't actually like a sport for Special Olympics.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
But it did get a lot of hits. I think that's why they brought it on.
Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, definitely. So it's really needed. So if you want to start a new sport, start as a fundraiser, and then see if it
progresses.
Yeah. As you know from your son, and as I'm sure a lot of Unified Pout knows, and people within the Special Olympics movement knows, challenges is a part of our story. And so as we move into talking about challenges and how the challenges is what shapes champions. I know I think one of the taglines or campaigns around these 2026 USA Games is calling all champions. So as we talk about overcoming obstacles, and I recently gave a talk at the ALC of, I don't know if you're familiar with the ALC organization, ALC. It's a disability self-advocacy organization. They got chapters across the U.S., but I recently gave a talk called From Challenges to Opportunities. And so speaking about, and I'm sure you know this through your son, of how a lot of us athletes overcome challenges. So every athlete faces challenges. Can you share with us a setback that you've had and how you've overcame it?
That was a very hard question for me when I was going through your things, your questions. And to be honest with you, before Special Olympics, he was bullied a lot. He didn't have no friends. And Special Olympics, when we were introduced to it, actually it changed his life, because it's actually like a big family. He wasn't an outcast anymore, and he was really, everybody accepted him, and he never had that. And like I said, he was probably about 15, 16 when he started Special Olympics. He just turned 26.
Yeah.
And so for all that time, he was always pushed to the sidelines, and so for him to actually be included in stuff and to be respected, that means a lot. That was a setback, because I didn't know anything about this, and had it not been for Special Olympics, I don't think he'd be where he is today.
Awesome. Yeah, that's so powerful. And I know for myself as a Special Olympics athlete, similar to your son, I got started in 2005 when I was in high school, and like from being bullied and being made fun of to then getting involved, thanks to one of my special ed teachers and case managers, getting involved in Special Olympics. It changed my life so much. Like I wouldn't be behind the microphone, and just like your son as well. So
He was very shy. He wouldn't talk to people, nothing. Now he's out of his shell, and he does everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's so, and there's so many, whether it's your son, whether it's myself, whether it's the 6 million Special Olympics athletes across the globe. So many of us have similar stories of how going from being shy, going from these challenges, and then how Special Olympics really does truly what the mission says. It really does take our challenges and develop us into champions. Mental strength. Let's now kind of switch gears a little bit to the mental strength. As I don't know if you're familiar with the Strong Minds discipline of healthy athletes with mental health, but how do you, as we kind of jumping back on what we talked about in the previous segment about what keeps you motivated when on tough days during training, kind of along those same lines, how do you stay positive? Talk to our listeners about staying positive and keeping going when things don't go as planned.
Well, I have to focus, and I had to write this down because I didn't want to mess this up, because I focus on what I can control instead of what I can't. Okay. So setbacks are just a part of life, and every challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. So it could push you away, but you're going to learn from that.
Awesome. Absolutely. As we wrap up this segment about setbacks, having a support system as you know, as a unified partner, as a mother, that support system really helps all of us athletes get through those challenges and develop us into champions. Who helps you as we talk about you as a unified partner, you as a mother? Who helps you get through the tough moments? Is it family, friends, teammates?
It's all of the above. And I go to church, and my family is very supportive. I have a lot of friends. Like I said, I go to church, and my Special Olympic Pawtucket Pacers, they're like a second family to us. Awesome. It's not just with the we don't do stuff just like the bowl and the cornhole, the track and field. They have cookouts. They include all the athletes. So we're like one family, and it's really nice. It's not just on the field; it's off the field too.
Awesome. I love that. That's another common theme. There's so many, even though we each within this movement, within the Special Olympics movement, we all have different stories, but there's a lot of similarities from on the field to off the field. Let's now switch gears right before we get to the closing reflection. But before that, we're gonna get to talking about goals as we look ahead to Minnesota 2026. It is, by the time our listeners hear this, if you're listening to this episode when it drops in real time, the opening ceremony is taking place tomorrow, June 20th, 2026. I'm sure ESPN and ABC are going to broadcast it. I'm not sure, but follow Special Chronicles. Scan that QR code that is above us on the screen, specialchronicles.com/2026USAGames, and we will let you know if ESPN is broadcasting the opening ceremony. But as the USA Games are about to kick off, that flame of hope is about to be lit in just 24 hours from the time our listeners hear this. Talk about your personal goals. What are your goals for these 2026 USA Games in Minnesota?
To create a lot of memories and hopefully make some friends around the U.S. We don't travel much. I don't know if you really know where Rhode Island is, but it's the smallest state, and we have Massachusetts, which is literally 5 minutes from us, and that's furthest we really go. So to be able to go and halfway across the country, I'd like to meet other people.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, is Boston near you?
Boston's probably about an hour to an hour and a half away. And if you're a true Rhode Islander, an hour ride for me, I need a hotel room because I just drove too much.
Awesome. Well, and I'm sure one of the best ways to meet meet other people in this movement at the USA Games is pin trading. I'm sure when you travel, we have our
pins ready to go.
So that's one which I've got right behind the camera here. I've got a bunch of lanyards, and somewhere it's either here or in my bedroom next door. But I've got a lanyard from the last USA Games, as well as from the World Games, and I've collected a lot of pins from across the country and across the globe, and so it's so even my girlfriend Georgia has like all of her pins in a framed case, so that's probably the best way to, and easy fun way to really connect and meet other people. So hopefully we'll get to meet in Minnesota and take a picture in person, and hopefully my mom and I will get to meet you. Since you shared with us your personal goals, your team, you said there's only two unified partners from Rhode Island going for competing in Unified Cornhole. So very small team. for a very small team from Special Olympics Rhode Island, competing in Unified Cornhole. Again, our guest is Sharon. Share with our listeners the goals that your team has for these 2026 USA Games.
Well, obviously, we want to bring home the gold, but but we're there to have some fun because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So we're there to have some fun and just make some good memories. Awesome.
Yeah, that fun is a common theme. I think a lot of people in this movement really talk about that. And our Special Olympics chairman Tim Shriver wrote about, I think, in his book Fully Alive. He has a chapter that he wrote all about the fun that lasts. And his one of Tim's sons compared it going to Disney World, where if you go to Disney, it's that fun just happens for just that short amount of time, and then you go home and back to your life. But this is the fun in the Special Olympics movement. It's the fun that lasts. It's, yes, we're going to Minnesota for a week, but it's the fun that lasts because it's all year. We're competing, we're connecting. This movement is happening 24/7 all year round. So it's the fun that lasts. So I'm glad that you highlighted that. Talking about going beyond the games, after these 2026 USA Games, these Special Olympics 2026 USA Games in Minnesota, what do you hope to achieve next as a unified partner?
I'm just that I can be a role model, that I have some big points. Hold on. He took my paper. He took my paper, and I have it all written down. And I was so proud of this too. That I would be a role model and supporting others, which I do volunteer, but being able to volunteer more, and spreading my wings. So I really enjoy being a unified partner, because usually when I compete in Rhode Island Special Olympics, I'm not Derek's partner. I am a partner to somebody else because, like I said, Derek is a better cornhole player than me. I've been practicing though, but so I'm not always with him. So I don't want anybody to think I'm always with him. I'm a unified partner for other people, other athletes, which is very rewarding to me because everybody has a story, and I love to, get to know more people.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that, and that's a big part of the here at Special Chronicles that I've been podcasting for about 18 years now, and share and really telling and getting to share so many people's stories on this podcast, on this platform. You mentioned kind of building upon what you said about wanting to volunteer and if you can speak directly into the camera, speak directly into the microphone. I know your microphone is probably built into your phone or computer, not like this microphone that's in front of my face here, but speak directly to our listeners, to our viewers. What message do you want to share with fans that are cheering you on, particularly so many people think Special Olympics is just for athletes like your son and myself. But what's the message that you want to share with fans, particularly about unified sports?
It's very rewarding. You get to meet people. People think that they're different, and they're not. We're all the same. We're all equal, and it's very rewarding to be able to help others that sometimes they need a little extra help. I don't know. I really enjoy volunteering and just being part of somebody else's life.
Awesome. I love that you said that we're all the same. Former Sargent Shriver Global Messenger. He's a Special Olympics athlete from Virginia, David Egan. I don't know if you've met David Egan before, but he wrote a book along with his mom called More Alike Than Different. To be fully, I'm going to be a little transparent for all listeners. I've got his book sitting next to my bed, and I got it back in 2022, and I've still not read it. So I should, you know what? Maybe I will try to pack it and read it when we're in.
You can read it on the plane.
You know what? That's what I'll do. I was going to watch a TV show or movie on the plane, but you know what? Maybe what I should do is read David Egan's book. But yeah, he's so good. So our listeners, you will have to put a comment down below and let me know and ask me a question if I've actually read David Egan's book. But his book is titled More Like something. I should. I don't feel like pausing the recording and go and grab it, but it's something about more like in something. But similar message to what you just shared. So I'm glad that you highlighted that. Let's now get into our closing and wrap up here, because I know we've been talking for about 29 minutes. So this whole episode 3 is going to be a little bit longer. But these powerful stories, and that's the good thing about podcasts, is you can pause and you can come back and listen later. So depending on how long your flight is, or whatever you're doing, you all can pause, come back later, listen to this in different chunks or clips. So what Special Olympics, this Special Olympics movement means so much to yourself as a unified partner, to your son as an athlete, to myself, to the 6 million Special Olympics athletes and the unified partners across the globe, across the U.S. Talk directly to our listeners and share, what does being a Special Olympics unified partner mean to you?
Inclusion and acceptance. We're all the same. We can all be friends. Nobody's better than anybody. We're all on the same. We all have one goal: to be happy, have fun, and live life to the fullest.
Awesome. I love that. We've got. Wait, can you remind me which question I just asked? Because I just saw it. It's been a long day for me. I don't think I've ever asked the guest to ask me the question that I just asked. Yeah.
I think I'm not sure. I thought that was almost like the closing.
What being a unified partner means to you? Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, all right, good. We're all on the same page. See, what our listeners can do is rewind this podcast 30 seconds, but we can't rewind on the recording right now. So let's backtrack. We're not doing any editing on this. This is all realistic. Before we get to the final question, do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share about your journey, about your overall time on this Special Chronicles podcast series to share with our listeners?
Well, I gotta say, I was very nervous before we started, but you were very easy to talk to, so I'm not nervous. And this is I can't wait to watch all of the series, all the Chronicles.
Awesome.
That's what I'll be doing on the plane. I want to watch all the Chronicles. I have about a 2.5 to 3 hour plane ride.
I have to say, we have over 800 episodes of this podcast.
I'm gonna have to go for just the Minnesota. Is all?
Well, so this Road to the USAGames series will be not all 10 episodes are coming out this month. It's over June and July, but I will send you the best of episodes overall. But then, this particular series, you on your plane ride, you can listen to. This is episode 3 of the series, so you can listen to episodes 1 and 2, and then I'll send you a couple of the best of episodes. with Tim Shriver and David Evangelista that you can listen to Tim and David on your plane ride.
Okay.
Okay. And for those of you listening, go to specialchronicles.com, scan that QR code if you're watching the video on the YouTube or the Spotify, and you can click about and then find our best of episodes if you are a new listener. Sorry, my calendar just popped up. Okay. So we are going to perfect timing. Okay. We got one final question. And as you know, the inclusion, as you know, particularly out of anyone as a unified partner, the inclusion revolution is a big part of this movement. So we got one final question that gets to the heart of what we are trying to do. We don't just want to listen. Well, we want listeners to hear your story, but even more than that, we want our listeners to take inclusion and bring unified sports and bring inclusion into their towns, into their workplaces, into their schools, into their communities. And this final question will help our listeners do just that. And to introduce our final question, we've got Bumble. So let's go ahead and roll that Bumble.
We're not just athletes.
We are the ambassadors of an uprising. Peaceful protesters.
In a rebellion against anyone
Who has a fear of difference.
Difference.
Our demands are
Equality. Equality. Equality.
Dignity and the recognition of our
Shared humanity. We will not stop.
or accept anything less.
Today, our world is
More divided than ever.
And coming together has never been more urgent.
The revolution is inclusion. Find out more at jointherevolution.org.
So, as we wrap up this segment of this Unified Partner interview conversation, that I know the past 35 minutes have just flown by. I know we're all going to be flying to Minnesota, or at least most of us. Actually, maybe not the people, the team Wisconsin or team whatever state is to the west of Minnesota.
You're asking the wrong person. I don't leave Rhode Island.
I thought I was good with geography, but I'm sure our listeners to the west of Minnesota are probably shouting through their headphones and telling us right now. But anyways, this final question gets to the how and what we really want to listen to take away with. And so just like I've asked for the past, I've been asking this final question at least for the past 6-7 years now, and I'll ask you as well. What does inclusion mean to you?
I'm gonna repeat we're all the same. Like, just get involved. Work side by side with one another. Get to know everybody. Don't, just because they look different or they sound different, it doesn't mean they're different. We're all the same.
Awesome. I love that. That's a perfect way to wrap up this episode. Thank you again, Sharon, and cameo appearance by your son there. Maybe on a future episode, now that you have my contact information, we'll have to have your son on a episode in the future, because I always love talking to other athletes as well.
He would love that. He would like karaoke as one of the games, let me tell you.
Awesome. Yeah. So after the USA Games, you'll have to get back in touch with me, and we'll have to have your son. Can you remind us as we wrap up your son's name?
Derek.
Derek, awesome. So we'll have to, Derek, as you listening in here, we'll have to have you on. So thank you again, Sharon. It's been such a joy, such a blast having you on the program today.
Thank you. I have one question for you.
Oh yeah.
What are you competing in at Minnesota?
So I am actually not competing in Minnesota. I am going there as media, as a podcaster, but also as an athlete leader. I am going to be emceeing the ribbon cutting for the ribbon cutting of the athletes as well. So as an athlete leader and as media.
Well, good luck, and I can't wait to see you there.
So good luck to you and your son as well in Unified Cornhole, and all of us at Special Chronicles are going to be cheering you on in Minnesota.
Thank you.
And that is a wrap on the program today. Thanks for listening to Rhode to Special Olympics 2026 USA Games, a Special Chronicles podcast series. Real athletes, real stories, real moments from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Catch every episode of the 10-part series at specialchronicles.com/2026USA Games. That's specialchronicles.com/2026USA Games. Or go ahead and scan that QR code if you're watching us on the YouTube right now, and we'll catch you all on the next episode right here on specialchronicles.com.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
That Sharon's story shows exactly why unified sports matter. Bringing people together, building friendships, and proving that inclusion isn't just a value, it's a way of competing. With Unified Cornhole making its first appearance at the USA Games, athletes and partners alike, Sharon, are paving the way for future teams across the country. Thank you for joining us for this powerful episode 3 of the Special Chronicles podcast series, Rhode to Special Olympics USA Games, Minnesota 2026. Today, Val, Katie, Amanda, and Sharon all showed us what it truly takes to prepare for the 2026 Special Olympics USA Games. The dedication, resilience, and the heart behind every athlete's story. As a reminder, if you want to follow these athletes and over 3,000 athletes on their journey, follow them on the 2026 Special Olympics USA Games app. Just search USA Games on the iPhone or Android app stores. And to follow our full Rhode to Special Olympics USA Games, a Special Chronicles podcast series, and stay connected to everything leading up to and on location at the Special Olympics 2026 USA Games, visit specialchronicles.com/2026USA Games. That's specialchronicles.com/2026USA Games, or scan that QR code right above if you're watching us on the YouTube or the Spotify. And finally, make sure to subscribe, share this episode, and continue celebrating the voices of people with disabilities. I'm your host, Daniel Smrokowski, and until next time, choose to include. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Special Chronicles podcast. Our podcast was produced by Daniel Smrokowski on the Special Chronicles Network. Follow Special Chronicles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Subscribe, rate, and review Special Chronicles on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Our website, specialchronicles.com, where you can stream our archives of over 500 episodes absolutely for free. Also, there's a list of our favorites, original series, award-winning columns, and blogs. And sign up for our newsletter to receive exclusive bonus content delivered to your inbox. Again, specialchronicles.com. Special Chronicles is hosted by Podbean Podcast Hosting. Our live streams are powered by StreamYard. Thanks, as always, to our business manager, Adam Smrokowski, who always encourages us to never give up. I'm Daniel Smrokowski, back next week with more stories.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.